Trouble at the animal park. One day on Sodor, it was a busy day at the animal park. Nia wasn't early since she had some work to do, so Henry and James, who also work at the animal park time to time, were working there today. James was taking supplies like hay for the animals, straws, etc., or that kind of stuff. Henry, on the other hand, was taking tours around the animal park to see the animals. Okay, everyone's on board, said Henry as he puffed away. James, of course, like I said, was taking supplies for the animals. Fuzzy was also with him today. I can't wait. I can't wait to see you at the animal park again, Fuzzy, since you helped us with the elephant incident, said James. Soon, they arrived at the animal park. Fuzzy got out of the cab. I take it you're excited to be here, said James. But as Fuzzy was out, he started getting a little to have some cold in him, and so started to sneeze, you can say. Uh-oh, said James. Not this again. Please don't tell me he's sick again. His driver looked. He just has a hay fever, said the driver. I wouldn't say we need to bring him to the vets again. What should we do with him, though? Said James. I mean, what if he goes into the animal park and spreads it to the other animals? I'm sure he'll be fine, said the driver. Maybe it's best to keep him in the cab. I suppose, said James. Anyway, said the driver, we better to unload all of this. As he started to unload. Meanwhile, Henry was giving the tourists a tour around the animal park in some coaches. He was about to continue more when he came to a stop. What's this? He said. Something was broken, and he looked. It was sort of a screw or something. His driver and fireman looked. It seems this is broken, they said. Well, what we're going to do, said Henry. We're better to put up a warning flag, said the driver, in case any other tourist trains are coming by. I'm sure some workmen from the animal park we can let some workmen at the animal park know that this is blocked. Right you are, said Henry. They took a different track instead. On the way back to the platform, Henry was thinking how would that happen? Maybe there are some security cameras, but where can I find some? Just then he remembered Wellsville. Yes, I'm sure every station will have some cameras. The animal park is part of its branch line after all. As he set it off there. Back at the platform, James was still getting his things unloaded. He was still worried about Fuzzy's hay fever when Henry puffed in. Hello, James. Oh, hey, Hen. Something wrong? James explained about Fuzzy's hay fever. I'm sure he's not getting sick again, James. I mean, hay fevers aren't one of those easy. I suppose hay fever is one of those easy things to get. Well, I'm glad I'm glad we engines don't have to get them. But what about with Fuzzy? I'm worried if we're going to take him to the vets again. I'm sure you won't have to, said Henry. Besides, if he has to, I'm sure he can get better like he did the last time. Thanks, Hen. Any time, said Henry. Also, do you know anything about a broken circuit or whatever you call it? Jane was puzzled. What do you mean? Henry explained how it broke on his safari tour. Oh, said James. I didn't know anything about that. I can try and ask some workmen to work here. Very well then, said Henry. I always drop off the pastures to the safari. Let's look at the animals. Oh, alright then, said James. Where are you heading off now? I'm just gonna go to Wellsworth and see can I find find any security cameras there. See, can I find how it broke? Very well then, said James. Good luck with that. I'll see you later on then, James. See you, Hen. And with that, Henry puffed away. James was still worried about Fuzzy though, but he also wondered how that broke for Henry. Henry soon arrived at Wellsworth as he dropped off the coaches there. He then went to look at some security cameras. I do believe I heard James Paxton look at security cameras when they helped Rebecca, so maybe I can try it as well. Henry looked. Let's see. The animal park. Ah, there we go, he said. His crew was looking on the computer. We should be able to get to Henry, they said. Ah, there it is. They soon found a screen in the animal park. Well, we need to rewind it where it broke, said Henry. They soon rewinded it. Oh, so that's how it broke. Said Henry. I see. Well, at least we found what the problem was. Yes, said the crew, but James said he would tell some workmen there, did he? Said his driver. James said he will, said Henry. I'm sure he would do it. He is my best friend after all. Oh, fair point, said the driver and fireman. We better get going, said Henry. With that, they puffed away. Meanwhile, with James, while he was still worrying about Fuzzy having hay fever, he went from back and forth delivering supplies for the animal park all day from different places. Soon they were done. James left the trucks back at his station. Since they were done, they were just waiting to see if they had any other jobs to do. Nope, said the workman. You're all done for the day, James. We'll be closing up now. Oh, that's good, said James. Anyway, said the driver, we might as well get back to Cronin's Gate. We will, said James. And with a toot of his whistle, James set off. But there was a problem. Fuzzy saw some Fuzzy, however, was racing around the animal park, even though he still has hay fever, because he was so interested with the animals that he thought he was chasing them, but he wasn't. But when he heard something banging, right, lads, we'll go home now, said one of the zookeepers. Fuzzy started to get worried. He knew he was locked in, and he had no way to get out. James, Norge crew didn't knew this, but James was the first one to know. That's strange, he said. I don't hear Fuzzy and making noises. This hay fever was still at him. His fireman looked. James, when was the last time you saw Fuzzy? At the animal park? What's wrong, said the driver. He's not here with us. Not even the tender. His driver looked. Oh, bother. I think we lost him. James came to a stop. Oh no, he said. Not Fuzzy. I mean, sure, he was lost when we first met him. But does he really have to get lost? From us? Where could he be? You said the last time you saw him was at the animal park, wasn't it? Said the fireman. Yes, it was, said James. Well, we can look there then, said the driver. But with that, they raced back to the animal park. Henry was heading back to Vicarstown. He was happy that he was able to find the problem with what happened earlier with his train. When he saw James rushed in. Hen! What's wrong, James? Said Henry. Oh, by the way, I found the problem what caused the screw to break earlier. Yeah, that's good for you, Hen. What's the matter, James? Well, I am happy you found your problem, but I now have a problem. It's more about Fuzzy. Not his hay fever, but he's gone missing. Missing? Said Henry. How did that happen? James explained. So last time he was seen was at the animal park. You don't think he's locked in, do you, by the gates? I hope not. He could be scared. But please help us, Hen. We need all the help we can get. Me and my crew will help you, said Henry. With that, they raced back to the animal park. Soon they arrived at the animal park. What could he be? Said James. James and Henry's crew looked around the front gate. He's not here, said the crew. James was disappointed. Oh, he probably really missed us right now. Just then, having an idea. I know. Wells will have security cameras, since you know the animal park's part of it was branch line. That's where I found my problem earlier. Maybe we can see how Fuzzy got stuck in. Good idea, Hen, said James. What are we waiting for? We should get to Wellsworth, and maybe we should be quiet so in case F or Philip and Boca are sleeping there, if they're there, like. Very well then, said Henry. With that, they raced off to Wellsworth. They soon arrived. Henry brought James to where the security cameras was. I should know how to work these, Hen, said James. I did help Pax and Luke to find the investigation of how we solved Rebecca with that mystery. Luke was the one who taught us how to use security cameras with his crew. Very well then, said Henry. Do your thing. They soon found the cameras to the animal park again. Right. Now, if we could just rewind it to when you left the animal park, Jane, we should be able to find the problem. They soon rewinded it. That's me on the camera when I'm leaving, said James. All right. Now, maybe we need to zoom in where Fuzzy was. Look, there he is on the camera going into the animal park. All right, then. Zoom in. They zoomed in. Seems he's racing around the animal park. Maybe he's chasing something, or could be the animals. Well, the animals don't seem to be running since they really can't. Yes, said James. Look, that's me going off. Okay, we're getting somewhere, said Henry. Now, if we can just go to the part where they locked the gates. They rewinded there. Okay, that's when they locked it, said James. Right, said Henry. Now zoom into where Fuzzy is. See, he's all scared, said James. Now, if we can rewind it to where he's at now. Now, what the time we are now. They rewinded to the part where they are now. There he is, said James. He's right there. Good, said Henry. We're getting somewhere now. But how do we get him out? Said James. I mean, sure he's locked in, but is there anywhere we can get him out? Unless there's some other gates around the animal park, said Henry. Besides, I did run a safari train after all. I'm sure you do them sometimes. Yeah, and I bet Nia does as well. Well, let's look around, said Henry. Got it, said James. With that, they went off. We soon returned. Right, said Henry. I think we better split up. You go, maybe. If you go to that way, James, I could maybe go backwards on this way. Maybe you go forward. You got it, said James. Good luck. Okay, and you good luck as well, said Henry. With that, they went off. It was getting dark. Luckily, the two engines had their lights on, so they could see in the dark. James looked on one half of the building, and we looked on the other side, going backwards. No luck here. He soon arrived back. Any luck, said Henry. No, said James. What about you? Neither, said Henry. I think there's only one situation we could do. We could try and get that gate down. But how? Said James. That can cause a lot of trouble. They're right, said the crew. Unless we could try and break it down. No, to him, we screwed that one work either. I have no way to break it down right anyways. A ladder probably wouldn't even work. We don't even have one, said James' crew. Said James. Oh, uh, well, we could try and break it down. I mean, if we attach some chains. I mean, like if we pull from one side each. No, Sir Henry, that won't work either. I don't know if we were even strong enough to do that, but that would cause too much damage. You're right, said James. Justin, Henry, an idea. Maybe a paper clip can work, if any of you has it. The crews looked. We should have one, said James' crew. Perfect, said James. You can put it in the gate. Henry's crew and James' crew got to work. In no time at all, the paper clip was in place, and they were able to get one of the gates open. Perfect, said Henry. Now we need to get Fuzzy. I'll do it, said James' driver. I'm his owner after all. He whistled. Come here, boy. Woo-hoo. Fuzzy heard and raced over. Gotcha, boy. Don't ever do that to us never again when we're out looking, said his driver. Fuzzy was glad he was safe. He saw Henry, James Fireman, and Henry's crew were also here. Here, he barked. Woof, woof. Good to see you, boy, said James. Thank goodness you're all right, said Henry. Well done, said Henry's crew. You all worked as one team. Well, a team as together is better than being on your own. Yes, said Henry, central part of the family members. But just then, they heard some crashes and some noises. That sounds like an elephant, said Henry. I think I hear seabirds as well, said James. Said Henry. Are you sure? Yeah, said James. Just then they heard crashes and bangs. What's going on? I have no idea, said James. Uh-oh, said James's crew. What is it, said Henry's crew. I think maybe because of Fuzzy, all the animals are broken loose. They're all escaping. Wait, what? Said Henry. You gotta be kidding me, are you? Said James. No, said James. No, said Henry's crew. They are escaping. Looked. The engines were surprised. All the animals were running around the place and escaping. Quick, shut the gates, said James. They locked the gates. And took out the paper clip. However, the animals were able to get out other places. Oh dear, said Henry. It's like when Charlie we had a runaway elephant. Or like the one we handled with Nia, said James. Oh dear, said Henry. This is all we need. What are we going to do? Perhaps how are we going to round all of them up if there's only two of us? Just then they heard a whistle. I think that's Nia's whistle, said Henry. Indeed it was. She was heading back to Timp's sheds. She just had some late work to do. Hello, you two, she said. But what are you two doing in the park up so late? Henry, should you be taking fine Kipper at this time? And what about you, James? Should you be taking the mail train with Percy by now? Henry and James knew they were late for their midnight jobs, but they explained to Nia what happened. And then all the animals broke out. Yes, said James. I suppose the Source Rescue team are going to be ready to know about this. I'm sure other engines may be able to do our jobs. Very well then, said Nia. How are you going to get them back in? Well, said James, we could do some more help. You are an animal expert after all, said Henry. Maybe you can help us. Plus you do have bright ideas. Nia thought. Very well then, she said. I'll help you, since I don't have any midnight jobs to do, since I was going back to Timp's sheds. Alright then, said James. Should we check the security cameras at Wellsworth again? I think we should, said Henry. Better be safe than sorry. With that, they went to check the cameras. "We better check them," said Nia. And with that, they went off. Soon, they arrived at Wellsville. But as they were about to look at the cameras, Fuzzy started falling asleep. "Oh dear," said James. "I think Fuzzy's very tired after him getting locked in the animal park." "I guess so," said Henry. "But let's just try and make the best of him sleeping. We got some animals to round up." "Alright, do your thing, James." "Alright then." They looked on the security cameras. "I think that's how they broke out," said Henry. "It must have been Fuzzy's barking or what noises he makes. They thought maybe like he was a monster or something." "I'm not really sure can dogs really be monsters," says Henry, said Nia. "But I'm sure there might be some way we can try and round them up." "I think what we need to do," said James, "is try and maybe go after each animals. I mean, just to go with our own ones." "True," said Henry, "but which ones should we go after?" "Well," said Nia, "I think I know what to do. If you go after the camels, James, maybe you go for the elephants, Henry, since you're an expert at that. And maybe I can go after the zebras." "Wait," said Nia. "I think the camels might be easier for me because if you don't mind me changing your idea, James, if you don't mind me changing it around." "Fair point," said James. "Or should I chase them? The zebras? Won't they be too fast?" "True," said Nia. How about you go chase after the giraffes, James?" "Got it." "Okay, maybe you and him should stick together since you two know the ways." "Got it. And maybe I should go and pick up that zookeeper that we had when the elephant came with us," said Henry. In case the elephant we delivered became a runaway." "Good idea, Hen," said James. "Let's go," said Nia, and they went off. Nia already went to look for the animals she has to round up. James and Henry, on the other hand, had went back to the platform at the animal park. They saw the zookeeper who was with them with the elephant. "Hey you," said James, "do you remember us?" "Oh yes, what was your name again?" "What were your names again?" he said. "My name's Henry." "I'm James," since I have nameplates here. "And do you remember this dog called Fuzzy?" "Oh yes, now I remember." "But," said the zookeeper, "what seems to be the problem? Didn't you hear about what happened with all the animals?" "Yes, that's why I came here, to make sure the elephants are okay, including the one that you delivered with. What's her name again?" "Nia," said James. "Yes, her. Along with that navigator engine, Luke, and I believe another one called Belle." "Yeah, it's a long story," said Henry. "But don't worry, we'll try and help you out." "Yeah," said James. James, "If you just go with Henry actually. If you just go with my best friend here," said James, "he'll try and find the elephants for you. I'm going to look for the giraffes. And I think Nico is going after the camels, right?" "Yes, she is," said James. "Right," said the zookeeper. "We got on board Henry's cap. Let's go." With that, they set off. Henry and James split up like Nia did. That's what James and Henry did when they were looking for Fuzzy earlier. As they went on their own tracks, James looked along down his line. I'm sure the giraffes are here somewhere." Just then, he heard a voice. "Hello there, tall animals," said a voice. "That sounds like better look," said James as he went to look. When James popped around the next bend, he saw the giraffes, but they were with Stafford. But how do you end up with the giraffes?" "Oh, hello, James," said Stafford. I was just going down the line when I saw these giraffes, but they seemed to stop when I came. I think it's because you're very quiet, Stafford. Not like how we steams are quiet. I mean, like with that sheep instinct you had. Don't remind me, says Stafford. All I want is to be like Steamy, though. Still, said James. Is there any idea how we can transport them back? Well, said Stafford, I can try and help if you like. Thanks, Stafford, said James. We need to get them back to the animal park, or the animals broke out. Oh dear, said Stafford. Well, what are we waiting for? My quiet noise, maybe we could try and get them back. Good idea, said James. Meanwhile, Henry with the zookeeper were looking for the elephants. Do you see any yet? No, said the zookeeper. What about you, fireman driver? No. Father, said Henry. Where are we going to find them? Just then, Henry heard a noise. Oh, that noise, said a voice. The noise? He heard the elephants. Keep quiet. I like some peace and quiet. That sounds like Murdoch, said Henry as he went to look. Henry soon arrived, and to his surprise, it was Murdoch with the elephants. Murdoch, what happened? Oh, hey Henry, I wanted some peace and quiet like I always do, but these elephants are making a lousy racket, and I can't get any peace and quiet. Don't worry, Murdoch, said Henry. I'm here now with the zookeeper. Huh, it seems those elephants are one of the elephants that me, James, Nia, Luke delivered with the help from Belle on that day as well. Oh, so this is the elephant you delivered, eh? With the rest of these. Sorry about that, said Henry. It's a long story. There was trouble all night in the animal park. Tell me later, said Murdoch. I might as well try and help you get these back to the animal park. Very well then, said Henry. Let's get to work, said the zookeeper, as they got to work. Nia was still looking for the camels. As she was puffing down the tracks, she heard a voice. He said, Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you, said a voice. Nia wondered. I have looked down the line, she said. When she came down the tracks, it was Sina, the black diesel engine from China, and one of the few engines from China as well. I can see you found some of the camels. Yes, I have, she said. I was just going down the line when I saw these and stopped. Neo explained what was happening. Oh dear, should I help him bring them back with you? I suppose so. James and Henry are gone looking for the other animals. Very well then. As they went off. Soon they all returned back to the animal park with the animals they found. That's the first 3 kind of animals we found, said Nia. But what about the other ones? Said James. Yes, we have more to get, said Henry. I can try and help, said Senior. Yeah, me too, said Stafford. I suppose I can help as well, said Murdoch. Well, we can deal with the help we can get, said James. True, said Henry. What do you guys think? What do you think, Nia? Well, I say they can help us find the other animals. Very well then, it's a deal, said Henry. Looks like there's 6 of us now that can get these animals, as the engines went off to get the rest of the animals. They all some of them worked as a team, while some split up. Soon all the animals were wrapped up as they were all being put back to the animal park. What about the track in front of them? said James. What if they try to escape that way? I don't think none of us can block that 9, said Henry. Don't worry, said a voice. A whistle and a bell and a horn was heard. Puffing on the other track was Edward, Toby, and Philip. They all came. What are you three doing here? We heard what happened down in the animal park, said Toby. And we bought the fat controller, said Philip. He's on my cab, said Edward. James and Henry were especially worried, and probably Neil as well. They were worried what the fat controller would say about the entire animal park incident. The fat controller stepped out of Edward's cab. I have brought the Edward, Toby, and Philip for backup in case you need some help if they ever escape, but it seems that everything is okay here. And thanks to the help with Murdoch, Stafford, and Senior, we were able to get the animals back into their places. I am proud of you all, especially you, James, Henry, and Neil. And I'm proud of you, James and Henry, for finding your promise to get Fuzzy out and that security thing. We will make sure that will be fixed, as Fuzzy was just waking up. Well, we're glad to be working here, sir, said Henry. I think Henry, James, and Neil have proven themselves, said the Fat Controller. Have proven themselves they are the right engines to help at the animal park. The engines were happy. Well done, said Edward. You really proved yourself you're really useful. Yes, said Philip. Well, said Henry, we're glad to be of service. But we couldn't have done it without Staff and Murdoch and Senior as well. Yes, said Neil, they also helped us. Well done to them as well, said the Fat Controller. Now, we have an animal park to get fixing. Yes, sir, said the engines. As all the engines were delighted that the secure that Henry found was going to be fixed. Fuzzy was okay, and his hay fever was gone, pretty much, and all the animals were wrapped up. I think James, Henry, and Neil have really proven themselves they are really useful engines working in the animal park. I think they're the right engines to work there, don't you?